Congrats host, you finished all the plotline. Completed this world's mission. Rewarding 15 points. In the void of the dimension transfer space, Sejin's beautiful eyes even held a rare sense of calm and joy. This is really great, dying together. That saves him the trouble of martyring himself. Sejin had no intention of resting. He told Xiaomi to enter the next world. Xiao immediately asked, but sir, this world just ended. You used to stay in that world for a long time, after completing missions. Won't 2 worlds in a row tire you out? Sejin lowered his eyes, hiding the emotion beneath them, and said quietly, no. He didn't know why. He just felt that after parting with him for only a moment, he already desperately wanted to see him. Wanted to get back to his side quickly. Xiaomi obediently opened the system and started transmitting the world. During the time entering the original host's body, Sejin quickly browsed through the plot. This is a modern world. The original host name is Cheng Sejin. He was originally an orphan, later adopted by a wealthy family in Jing City. The family that adopted the original host is a single-parent household with a mother and 2 daughters. Because Mother Cheng's business went south, losing 30 million straight, she consulted a fortune teller, who said the Cheng family had all girls, too much yin energy. Best to adopt a boy. So the original host was brought into the Cheng family. After having a boy in the house, Mother Cheng's business really did boom, gradually becoming one of Jing City's wealthiest families. But their family's attitude toward the original host got worse and worse. And got the Cheng family's eldest daughter Cheng Chu both met scumbags, and then felt like there wasn't a single good man in this world. Later, the original host made his own money, struggled through college, interviewed at an accounting firm, but unluckily became the team member of the Cheng family's second daughter, Cheng Miao Miao. Cheng Miao Miao was used to being domineering. Her friend was also the company's vice president, so she had no qualms. Pleasure in oppressing the original host did. Once a project the original host was responsible for got switched by Cheng Miao Miao. He tanked the deal, making the company lose 3 million. So the original host not only lost his job, but had to fully compensate the company's losses. He packed up his things from the company and left. This incident snuffed out his last bit of hope. He said goodbye to this cold, dark world. Sejin just opened his eyes to find himself kneeling on the ground. A sharp, mean voice immediately rang out. Cheng Sejin, you useless piece of garbage, told you to buy stuff and you can't even do that. Don't you know our Miao Miao doesn't like cola? She likes beer. You get it. The woman speaking is called Zhu Lingyu, Cheng Miao Miao's top lackey. Finishing the first 2 sentences was still screeching at the top of her lungs. Vice President Mo's gonna drive over to pick up Miao Miao soon. If you don't want to lose your job, get up and go buy it again. You hear me? Sejin frowned slightly. Just saw in front of him sat a woman in her 20s. She sat with her legs crossed, looking down on everyone, clearly treating the KTV sofa like a throne. Cheng Miao Miao had no idea the Cheng Saijing in front of her had already changed inside. Still putting on airs and ordering, Sejin, don't be sad. You still have some good. Like, you bought this milk tea pretty well. Remember to bring another cup when you go buy beer. Sejin's eyes changed slightly, looking at this delusional older woman in front of him, actually finding it hilarious. Why are you still using a straw? Drinking milk tea like that has no soul. Cheng Miao Miao didn't understand what he meant. Just about to ask when she saw Sejin reach out and snatch her milk tea, then kick her off the sofa with 1 foot. At the same time, Sejin heated up the milk tea with his divine power, raised his hand and mercilessly poured the scalding milk tea all over her face. This is how you really enjoy it. This was Chu Lingyuan's first time meeting. That unique temperament and beauty made him irresistibly want to get closer. His heartbeat inexplicably sped up, as if about to jump out of his chest. That feeling was both nervous and exciting. He imagined, if such a beautiful person cried, it would surely look amazing. Suddenly, Cheng Miao Miao screamed. Sejin didn't want his job, actually daring to treat her like this. Zhu Lingyu quickly reacted to score points with Cheng Miao. Immediately raised her fist towards Sejin. This little pushover who usually only knew how to get beaten and cry, actually had an explosive moment. Totally asked him. But the fancy fist as it neared Sejin was caught tightly by he. The young man gripped Zhu Lingyu's wrist tight, twisted and broke him. The crack of breaking bones rang out especially clearly. Zhu Lingyu screamed in pain, used all her strength, trying to pull her hand from Sejin's grip, but couldn't do it no matter what. Girls can't be violent, and can't pour cola on other people. Since your mom didn't teach you that, let me teach you. Jin very gentlemanly used his divine power to completely shatter her hand bones, completely turning that hand into trash. As Sejin turned to leave, seeing the lollipops, he casually put them in his. He acted as if nothing happened, walked out of the noisy place. Everyone who saw this was amazed. Cheng Sejin had always been humiliated by Cheng Yang. Never expected him to actually fight back today. They're so fresh, so unbelievable. Sejin raised his hand and snapped his fingers. Guessed it. The Mozilin's car went out of control. The steering wheel suddenly wouldn't respond. Not even 3 seconds later, the car slammed hard into a utility. The hood started smoking. Gasoline dripped down. Sejin figured this car probably wouldn't explode, wouldn't hurt innocent bystanders. But that little sound was enough to make people's hearts pound. This Mo Ziliang was obsessed with pursuing Cheng Miao. For her, he sabotaged the original host at the company. Even paid street thugs to beat up the original host and film. To make Cheng Miao happy, Sejin slowly walked to Mo Zilin's car, smiled and greeted him. Mo Zilin's eyes widened, kind of doubting he was hallucinating. Why would Cheng Sejin be here, smiling so terrifying? But soon, he was distracted by the dripping oil under the car. He realized the leaking car oil could explode, so he wanted to get out of here fast. But the car door seemed blocked by some huge force. Wouldn't no matter what. He was at a loss when Sejin leisurely walked to the windshield. Mo Zilin had no time to instinctively ordered Sejin. Cheng Shijin, what are you standing there for? Hurry up and open my car door. But Sejin outside seemed not to hear him at all. pointed at the gasoline on the ground, then said 4 words, "Good luck," then turned and elegantly left, leaving Mosey Lin alone to experience endless despair. The next day, at the hospital, and again with a towel, that young man was staring at Sejin intently, eyes shining with pure, innocent light. When he came closer, he didn't know why. The instant he saw that person, the young man gripped Zhu Lingyu's wrist tightly, twisted and broke it. The crack of breaking bones rang out especially clearly. Zhu Lingyu screamed in pain. She used all her strength trying to pull her hand from Sejin's grip, but couldn't do it no matter what. Girls can't be violent, and can't pour cola on other people either. Since your mom didn't teach you that, let me teach you. Jin very gentlemanly used the wine towel to completely shatter her hand bones, completely turning the hand into trash. As Sejin turned to leave, seeing the lollipops on the table, he casually put them in his pocket. The Changso Soyak acted as if nothing happened, walked out of the noisy place. Everyone who saw this was amazed. Qian Sejin had always been humiliated by Chen Gamiao, over-expected him to actually fight back today. So fresh as unbelievable. Must follow his wishes, send what he likes to his side. But Zhu Lingyuan rarely showed interest in worldly things. This condition kept getting better and worse. Never expected today to be a bonus. Should we poach him to our company? Zhu Lingyuan agreed without hesitation, thought. Then added, get me a workstation. I want to sit next to him. I'm really looking forward to working with the beauty. An innocent guy. But because of an accident, scammed Sejin. This time is because he got hurt. You can't not take responsibility, Xiang. As long as he likes it. Even adding a workstation for him to work isn't a big deal. So he lowered his head. Yes, young bastard. I'll take you back first, then arrange it for you. Zhu Lingyuan suddenly interrupted him. No, you go arrange it now. I want to go see him. Then walked in the direction. Sejin disappeared. Sejin was picked up by the cops who got to Chen Miao's hospital room. Then got Zhu Lingyu's explosive accusations. Chang Sejin, you still dare show up, officer? He's the one who hurt my hand. Not only that, he scalded Miao Miao's face with milk tea. You gotta help us out. Sejin used his divine power to heal the two inside the room following the officer. Really? Sejin glanced at Zhu Lingyu's perfectly healed hand, said casually, let me remind you out of how your false accusations equal slander. You guys usually bully me. Fine. But now acting and framing me, isn't that too much? Zhu Lingyu furious slammed the table and stood up. Cheng Saijin, the facts are right in front of us. What excuse do you have? Too emotional. Zhu Lingyu didn't even realize when she slammed the table. She used her injured hand. Jin seized the chance. Look, your hand's perfectly fine, isn't it? He looked at the officer, his beautiful big eyes innocent and confused, filled with heartbreaking grievance. Sir, you tell me. If I really hurt her hand, could she slam the table and yell at me like this? These few people always bully me. Now the methods are getting more and more vicious. Since they're obstructing official business, you should punish them harshly. Hearing him say that, Zhu Lingyu only then belatedly reacted. She stared wide-eyed, looking in disbelief at her perfectly fine hand. That's not how like this just now. Chang Xijin clearly hurt her. But now, her hand bones were all healed. Couldn't even find a scratch. Looked like it hadn't been hurt at all. Right? And Miao Miao. She immediately opened the door to the inner suite, wanting to check Cheng Miao Miao's face. She saw the face was also perfectly fine. Why? Was it a dream, or was it cursed? If Chang Xijin really didn't have to receive any punishment, what about the suffering they endured? The officer also went over to take a look. Just saw Chen Miao Miao with perfect makeup lying on the hospital bed pretending to be dead. He couldn't take it anymore. Said seriously to Zhu Lingyu, Miss, you guys need to know when to stop joking around. Next time with this kind of tiny injury where we can't even see a scratch, just grab some medicine, don't call us anymore. This is wasting public resources, really terrible behavior. You two come to the district office today and pay a fine. After saying that, he politely apologized to Xijin, huffed and left with big strides. In the quiet environment, Sijin looked at the two who seemed to have seen a ghost and smiled. When you guys bullied me before, you always said you were joking with me. So now I'm joking with you. It's just getting started. He wanted these two bullies to taste all the suffering the original host went through. Only then could be considered taking the first step of atonement. Sejin stretched, getting ready to head back to the company cafeteria for food. But just as he took a step, he found someone tugging on his clothes. He turned back to meet a pair of big watery eyes, looking at him helpless and innocent. Big brother, I'm hurt. It really hurts. Zhu Lingyuan's voice was soft and warm, looked incredibly obedient. His build was a whole head taller than Sijin, but sweet and soft, like a little kid, naturally pitiful. Sejin was seeing little heavenly lord like this for the first